Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we've got another Gun Gripe episode for you. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the magazine restriction going on in Jersey. And it's not really going so well, is it? and look, guys, you're going to see probably a higher than normal amount of gun gripes coming through. And we're not trying to troll you guys. We're not trying to fill your feed up with stuff you don't want to see, but we're trying to put the word out on a lot of the stuff. Guys, the Second Amendment is under attack big time. You know, we've done videos recently where we discussed the bump stock ban with Trump and the ATF and everything. We've also discussed the red flag laws that Rubio put forth. So if you haven't seen those videos, check them out. Again, we're not trying to troll y'all, but we feel it's important to put these things out as they're pertinent because we want to really like ring the bell and get people kind of, involved and make sure they understand what's going on. This is something that unfortunately has kind of already happened, but what we want to comment about today is the fallout.
The fallout or the non-compliance?
Or the lack of fallout. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly read a little bit of this article to you. It says,
I love it.
All right, so New Jersey passed its ban on the possession of magazines containing more than 10 rounds of ammunition in June. It gave the state's million or so law-abiding gun owners 180 days to comply. The law provided 5 options. Modify the offending magazines so they could accept no more than 10 rounds. 2, render the firearm inoperable that accepts such magazines. That ain't happening. All right. 3, register firearms that cannot be modified to accommodate 10 or less rounds. 4, transfer the firearm or the magazine to an individual or entity entitled to own or possess it, because you're not. Because the Second Amendment doesn't apply to you, peon.
Entitled.
All right. Entitled. Ooh, that's a important word.
Excuse me, Mr. Police Officer, I'd like to donate my AR-15 to your cause because I can't run it anymore.
So number 5, surrender the firearm or the magazine to local law enforcement.
Isn't that the same thing?
All right, said the million or so law-abiding gun owners selected option 6. Ignore the law and defy its enforcement. So not one magazine has been turned in New Jersey. Oh, I love it.
It's so fun.
I love it.
And the thing is, like, New Jersey's had a magazine capacity ban in place since 1990 or so. So they've been limited to 15-round magazines, which was, I think that was kind of common in Colorado, too. In some other states, they have magazine capacity bans, but they've already had this in place, so they decided, well, them extra 5 rounds are too dangerous. We got to take them away.
It actually says right here that gun-hating liberals in Colorado, known to some people as the People's Republic of Boulder, passed a law banning possession of assault weapons, high-capacity clipazines, and bump stocks last May.
It doesn't say clipazine.
I said that. I changed the wording. All right. It said they passed that last May, and gun owners reacted similarly and didn't turn it in.
How do they expect people to act?
Look, our founding fathers basically, in a nutshell, told us that non-compliance is the answer. That if a law does not represent you and your people, then it is your duty not to follow it. I mean, look, guys, we're a nation of laws, and I've said this in previous videos before. Like, I understand a civilized nation has to have some rules, right? I mean, okay, I get it. Thou shalt not kill. Okay, you shouldn't hurt people. You shouldn't rape people. You shouldn't rob people. Those things make sense. A civilized society, the common good and the greater common good understands. You know what you should and shouldn't do, and you know that. Oh wow, yeah, that should be illegal. We shouldn't do that.
The right and wrong that's usually commonly ingrained in you, typically at birth. There is a right, there is a wrong.
But sometimes things just don't make sense, and why should it apply to you? When you see this mass non-compliance like this, I think what it sort of winds up doing is it lets you realize, look, people are adults. People want to be treated like adults. You know what I mean? They don't need some nanny state telling them what they can and can't have, what they should and shouldn't do, right? And they react accordingly. You know what the law-abiding person does when they see that bull crap? They go, I ain't turning in crap because I ain't going to do nothing wrong with it. And that's how people feel. Do you think that a criminal is going to just go, oh, well, my magazine is not legal, I'm just going to turn it in. No. But so now, just because some guy, some bureaucrat in a black suit with a pen signs some piece of paper, does that all of a sudden turn you into a criminal because you don't agree with it?
Technically, it turns you into a felon with punishment consisting up to 18 months in jail or a $10,000 fine, or both.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, who's the victim? Like, who are you committing a crime against? It's the dumbest thing ever. Why are firearms owners, the gun owners of this country, are always put up against the corner, put in the corner, and sprayed with the hose, with the fire hose, like the redheaded stepchild? You know, we always have to get the delousing of society. We always have to get the shunning and the oh you should have and the, you know, shaking their fingers at us and looking down their noses at us. Why is it that the gun owners at large in this country are treated in that manner, and somebody wants to sign some document that just turns you into a criminal overnight? I refuse to accept that. It just does not, it's not fair. It doesn't make sense. And you see this mass non-compliance, and it kind of makes you think, you know, I mean, all right, so let's just say, you know, we know eventually Pelosi and all her crooked cronies are going to try to, you know, dust off the old assault weapons ban and get it back on the books. And let's just say in a evil fairy tale world, it gets passed, and there's some federal assault weapons ban. So is that to say that, oh, you have until X time to turn them in, or else we know who put the gum on the bottom of the seat. We know who pulled the fire alarm. I mean, that's what it's the equivalent of. Adults are adults, and they're going to act accordingly. And it's like any logical adult person is going to be like, well, I'm not a bad person, so why should I have to deal with this bull crap? And that's how people think, yeah.
You know what these people are doing to gun owners? They're just kind of poking us with a stick. And be like, all right, well, we can settle a little bit, we can stand a little bit here. It's like, all right, you can poke me far enough, and then, you know, something bad's going to happen. You know, I mean, but
man, it makes you wonder.
You think that you look.
What are they going to do? Arrest 1 million people?
They don't have the manpower for that. So that's the big thing too. There's not enough manpower to go around to be able to go like door to door, and what are you going to do? Go door to door and file search warrants and search everyone's home for non-compliant magazines? I mean, and what, are you going to put them in a already overly populated penitentiary system?
Yeah.
Really?
And further burden the taxpayers over nothing, which is something that shouldn't even be illegal in the first place.
I mean,
what are you going to find somebody that's walking down the street with a carry gun? Oh, sir, I need to check your magazine.
Talk about a non-violent felon. I hate that term, non-violent. I hate it. Non-violent felon. It shouldn't even be a felony. But the thing is, you look at these bans that are going on a state level, and you see the non-compliance. What do these legislators expect on a national level? National non-compliance. Obviously, oh no, everybody's just going to follow the law and just blah, 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 blah. Like, you won't make me a criminal overnight. That's fine and dandy, but guess what? Oh well.
I think get it. We wanted to make this gripe to kind of, talk about New Jersey, because it's one of those kind of things that sets a pretty stark sort of series of events, a precedent, so to speak, for how things could go, in other states. And we see that, not only was that the case in Colorado, but then also the case in New Jersey. And I mean, think about how many people in California that own guns. And let's just say, you hear about this California compliance this, or magazine restrictions and all this. And people that live in like rural areas, they don't give a crap about any of that stuff. That's city problems. Just because some guy in the city in a suit at a desk signed some piece of paper, all right, well, congratulations, you can write. You signed a piece of paper.
Hey, that reminds me.
But that's it. Like, it don't matter if you're not a,
Speaking of the city,
criminal.
Speaking of the city, this is kind of off topic, but I read an article the other day about Chicago. So Rahm Emanuel fought this concealed carry legislation in the state of Illinois like tooth and nail. Okay, he did not want it. All right, so now there's a shall issue law in Illinois. So there are more carry permits being issued in Chicago, and guess what's going down?
Gun violence. I hate that word too.
Gun crime.
We get so caught up in these terms that are shoved down our throats. I hate the word gun violence. It's just
so you go from being
crime.
one of the most restrictive cities for gun rights in the entire country to one that allows law-abiding citizens to carry legally, okay? And you see a decrease in crime, but you just shove it under the rug. You say, oh, that wasn't because of that. That's because of some other policy that I instituted.
But Chad, you just don't know that you're a lawbreaker yet. You haven't been given the proper opportunity to break the law yet. You can't be trusted, little peon, with this great power in your hand and on your hip there. No. You, sir, are a lawbreaker. You just don't know it yet.
The data is out there. The data is there. It's hard to refute when you
if
say.
If Pelosi says, "I don't care about your facts,"
I mean,
screw your facts.
You give good people who have firearms the ability to protect themselves in public. It puts the criminals at bay a little bit. They say, all these people carrying guns now. I don't know if I want to go rob this liquor store, or I don't know if I want to go rob this here corner shop, this 7-Eleven.
Why does it always have to be a liquor store?
Well, because that's what's always in the news. There was a few in the news in Atlanta that were kind of, freaky.
Really?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
The poor 7-Eleven's always getting ripped off, aren't they?
The thing is, though, they can't ignore the facts. You give more people the right to defend themselves. Well, they will. And crime goes down, and you just say, oh, well, I don't know why that happened. Of course you do. What are you talking about? Of course you know why it happened.
They know why it happened. They just want to reject the reality, and they want to substitute it with their own reality.
So in New Jersey, since no one turned in their high-capacity magazines, big scary black magazines, hold 15 rounds, okay, now crime is automatically going to skyrocket, right? No, it's not going to skyrocket.
And the numbers will back that up. And of course, they'll refute it.
Everything is going to be just like it is.
They will push all the gun owners of that country, or that country, might as well be a country.
California.
They'll push all the gun owners in that state into a corner, a proverbial corner, and they'll continue to squirt them with the water hose for no reason. And that's literally what this is the equivalent of, are the citizens of New Jersey being treated like they're in a delousing chamber. And they're undesirable. And
you're being criminalized for having a magazine. You own one particular item, and then you're automatically a criminal for owning something that the bureaucrats don't agree with. And they think, in the veil of public safety.
That sounds like a personal problem to me.
I mean, you own...
An emotional problem on their part.
Sorry, you own this device, or you own this thing, and we don't want you to own it because it increases crime.
Ban it! Ban it!
Is it increasing the crime rate? All right, increase the crime rate. Go ahead, do it. Come on.
Not happening.
Come on, do it.
Not happening.
Give me a break.
It drives us nuts. So we thought that we'd make this quick gripe, just to sort of comment on what's going on in New Jersey. It sucks that they even have to deal with it, period. Okay? But as you can see, mass noncompliance is occurring. And I can certainly see it as being a reality that a lot of states are going to be facing if they try to, put forth. Were you trying to take your blood pressure?
My turn?
Oh, yeah.
You got to go this way.
Oh, boy. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Just hit it. Now let's see how fired up you are. Calm down. Yeah, this is a common thing. We like to check our blood pressure, see how fired up we're getting.
I might need to take this thing to the house and check my blood pressure after yelling at my kids.
Hey, be careful.
I'm a horrible parent.
But what we wind up running into with all of this is it's setting a really, really screwed up...
Dangerous precedent. Put that on a t-shirt.
It is. It's setting up dangerous precedents. And I think a lot of these states are going to see mass noncompliance. And I guess there's two sides to the coin is, are you going to live as a subject or are you going to live as a free person? And a free person is a free person. And, I agree with the citizens of New Jersey.
It's a little higher than normal.
Yeah, definitely.
143 over 93. I'm not dead yet.
You're not dying yet. You're not as dead as I am. But I agree with the citizens of New Jersey not complying because it's bullcrap. You shouldn't have to follow a law that's bullcrap. And if it doesn't have your best interest in mind, then screw it.
Absolutely. I applaud those gun owners in New Jersey just to put their foot down and say, no, enough is enough, and that's what they did. And the funny thing in this article, let me, hang on a sec. So, hang on. New Jersey law enforcement officials either have no plan to enforce the magazine law or aren't willing to discuss it. Those departments that the author quizzed refused to answer or responded with, quote, "We do not discuss law enforcement strategies," end quote. So they don't have a plan in order how to combat this.
When they took this ban on, they probably got a bunch of like intermediate bulk containers, those big things, and they said, all right, we got those on order, they're good, they're on the pallets. Like, all right, we're gonna sit here, we got extra people ready. All right,
put their little sign out by their
they
table.
Put the little sign out.
Turn your magazines in.
Yep,
here.
they're like, all right, well, they're just gonna come in droves and turn them in, and they're looking over here.
They're watching the birds.
Watching the birds. You hear a cricket. Nothing.
Watching a tumbleweed
I think that a lot of these folks, the people that make these laws, are all narcissists. They're very narcissistic in their tendencies, and they think that they can do no wrong.
Well,
they think they're smarter than you. They think that they know best, and screw you, little peon. They have the superiority complex, and they feel that everything they say and do is gold, and you are nobody, and your word doesn't matter, and they're very narcissistic in terms of their tendencies.
Of course they are. They're elitist.
I bet that they really did think that everybody was just going to do it, and there wouldn't even be any enforcement on, it would just be picture perfect.
Because they wrote it on a piece of paper?
Because they wrote it on a piece of paper. The pen is mightier than the sword.
The pen is mightier. The thing is, these bureaucrats are elitists, and that's how elitists think. They don't have anything in common with the common man.
They're all narcissists.
Oh, of course they
really,
are.
really are.
But sure. Oh well, this so and so's not. So and so's not. Well, guess what? The vast majority of these people are, because that's all they've known most of their entire life is politics. Some of these
manipulating people and just being a bunch of narcissistic, what.
That's it. That's all they are. That's
but
all they are.
It's cool to see that New Jersey is not being manipulated. And they're not being driven down that path. So,
anyways,
I say don't comply, screw them. So I think they did the right thing. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We appreciate the support. You guys are great. All of you who purchased Man Cans, in case you don't know what that is, Man Cans is a monthly box that we sell. We select a theme. It's kind of a mystery box. You pre-order it. It's a really cool, group of just awesome items we send out to you. Either purchase a Man Can, or if you purchase shirts through the shop or merch, all of those funds go right back into supporting the channel. Also, our Patreon supporters, if you guys donate on Patreon, that's a way that you can support the channel directly if you wish. You can donate a few bucks over on Patreon if you wish. Thank you all so much for supporting our channel and watching our videos. We really appreciate it. New Jersey, hang in there, guys. All we can tell you is live free, be free, and that law's bullcrap, and over time they'll see it's ineffective, and maybe in time we can get the GOA or the FPC to fight it in court and get it overturned, and hopefully fight it and get it out of here. So
could be mistaken, but I think they've already filed suit.
Even better. Even better. So if you want, check out, look that up. If you,
I'll check it out and see.
Yeah, if you find it, put it in the description box below. So check out the description box for a link to any GOA or FPC stuff going on.
I can't remember. It seemed like they fought it on state level, but it got overturned by like an appeals court or something. But it seemed like some group stepped in and filed another suit against it. But I can't remember.
Good. We'll research that.
We'll check it out.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.